It's Jackie, and I've got two things I want to share with you today. The first thing is that we're going to go through my April journal. I've already shown you the first half, so I'll flip through the first half and then I'll talk you through the second half like I normally do. The second thing I wanted to do is I'm excited to announce that I've started my own Facebook group. It is called Creative Journalers. I'll link to it below, and I would love it so much if you joined. The idea is that I've been showing you guys my journal pages for like years now, and I would love to see some of yours. I would love to make this more of a two-way relationship. So it's free to any type of creative journaling that you do, whether that's in a traveler's notebook or a Fauxbonichi, or if it's in a Dylusions journal or a junk journal or whatever you have. It's a place that welcomes almost any type of journaling. So please come check us out. So let's take a look at my book. So April, I did not think I was going to fill this so fast, but it's almost full. I actually had to pull out this many pages, like, I don't even know, like 20 pages maybe? I had to pull out so many, that's for my swatch page. I had to pull out so many pages, but I'm going to try to squeeze May into it because at the end of the day, I don't want 12 books for the year, so it's going to get chunky. I'm not happy about that, but we're going with it. So you guys have already seen these pages, and I really am feeling like I found my journaling style in this book. Sorry about the shadows. It's cloudy around here in Toronto. With this, I feel like I'm finally like expressing myself the way I want to in my journals, and the pages are turning out in a way that's really appealing to me, and so I'm just really happy with how my style's coming along. I think sketchbooks are where I'm going to live in journaling for a little while, until, you know what I'm like, I get tired of things, but for now this feels new and fresh. So I think we got to here, and you only saw this one for a couple seconds, so I just thought I'd show it again. This is the page I accidentally put in upside down. And I just wanted to show you because it was some watercoloring that I did, and I was really pleased at my ability to draw something and have it actually look like what it is. So I'm proud of that. And the reason I put 1, 2, 3, 4 down here at the bottom, this is a Tim Holtz rub-on, is because I kind of lose my mind at the gym because I get so tired, but I know that I'm supposed to have 4 things in my hand. So every time I do any exercise, I start counting how many things are in my hand, and if I only get to 3, I know I've lost something. So it's just a little trick I use. So next we get into the Mom Came to Visit pages. She was here for 3 days, so there's quite a few pages about it. And I wanted to keep it all consistent. So for those pages, I did them in a kind of a scrappy style. I used the Chamel Little by Little 6x6 paper pad, and I used watercolors. And I also used a 12 by 12 Easter sticker sheet. I forget who made it. I think it was Lori Whitlock. And it's gone now. It's all cut apart, so I can't show that to you. But for the first one, I just did squares. I used a square die, and I cut out a photo of the city at night when we went to pick up my mom at the airport late at night. I made this title block, just, you know, drew some bubble letters and watercolored it. This was from the Chamel paper pad, and so was this one, some Easter stickers. And this was just an old journaling card I had. I just cut a square out of it and did some journaling on it. I did a gray wash on the background for that page. And then we started talking about Good Friday. She was here for Easter weekend. So for this page, I started with this 6x6 sheet of paper. We had played a game called Star Trek Panic, and the circle on the paper reminded me of the board for that board game. That's why I picked it. And then it was a little too big for the page, so I cut off a strip off the bottom and the side, and I just put them down here for journaling lines. So I took a picture of us all playing that game together. This is my mother trying virtual reality for the first time, a picture of some of the treats we had. And I used all kinds of the Easter stickers that I had. I used my watercolors to just do a little bit of green here and there. And I'm really loving drawing company logos right now. I find it's giving me just an opportunity to try out some different fonts. And so we went to the Mandarin for dinner, so I drew out their logo. And I think that turned out cute. There's a little white bunny here. And then we move into the Saturday of Easter weekend, and I just again took a 6x6 sheet of paper. This time I cut it along the diagonal, put one here, and this time instead of green I did some blue lines. I did a couple more corporate logos. Reitman's is where we went shopping, Grazie was where we had dinner, and that was fun. And I love this picture because when you live in different provinces from your immediate family, these moments where you're just like hanging out and doing nothing are so special. So this is just us sitting on the couch, and I just use this little Chamel embellishment. This is perfectly normal. Most of these embellishments came from that paper pad, and this is one of the Easter stickers. A picture of a chocolate cake that we had for my birthday, and this is my mother surrounded by all the clothes that we bought because we'd gone shopping that afternoon. And I just used some of the words. These all came from the paper pad as well. then it was Easter Sunday, and that was my birthday, so I gave it the title, My Birthday is on Easter. This banner came off the sticker sheet. I die cut out the word birthday and just wrote in some words, and I put a little picture of my cake up in the corner. So yeah, I got 2 birthday cakes. I'm pretty spoiled. This one was an ice cream cake, which is my favorite. Again, I just used a 6x6 sheet of pattern paper, this time the yellow one, and I put part of it here. And I used every Easter sticker that I could find. I put eggs down here. My husband set up an Easter egg hunt for me, which was so fun. So I put a picture of everything I'd found. My mother actually left that day, so we did a selfie out on the balcony before she left, and we're all in it. And I think this is an absolutely wonderful picture. This is, I think, my favorite picture from her trip. So that's good. And basically when I'm doing these pages, I just kind of like slap down a title, my photos, all the decorations I want, and then I just journal anywhere there's a spot. I date stamp if there's no room for a date. So that's pretty much my method. And then I got a birthday card, so I put that in here. I just made a little pocket, again using the 6x6 paper pad, and this journaling card was one of the die cuts that came with that collection, and I just tucked this little bear underneath it. And so that's just a birthday card that I got. The next one is called My Third Season of Choir, and this one just came about sort of by accident. I was thinking about tone-on-tone colors, and I just wanted to try it out. So I remembered that I have Winsor Newton Cotman watercolors in all the exact same colors as my Winsor Newton watercolor markers. So I thought that'd be perfect for tone-on-tone. So I had this scrap of watercolor paper, and I just did a wash in all different colors, and then I just wanted to use my markers, so I scribbled down the song we're working on in choir this season. So I just wrote out all the words, and then it was so pretty. I was like, oh, I need to put that in my book. So I just did a page about what we're doing in choir. It seems good anyway. We're in week 3, so it's like a good time to mention I'm still doing it. And then I just did some music note stamping and coordinating colors, light blue, dark blue, magenta, and red. And I made my alphas. These are just, I don't know what kind of alphas those are. In the same colors so that the colors continue the whole way down the page. Sing for Joy is the name of the choir. And I just did some brush lettering there. So I like that page. This is my page for my husband went home. There was a family emergency and he had to go home. So I tried to give it a somber tone because it was a somber time. And I just felt inspired to draw home while I thought about it because I wasn't able to go with them. So this is the most complicated painting I think I've ever done. I used my Jane Davenport Neutrals palette. I think it turned out really nice. I wasn't comfortable with spacing, so what I did is I just took a sheet of vellum and I traced a picture of the skyline on my tablet. I just like looked up a picture of Halifax skyline, traced it out using vellum, and then I put graphite paper on the back of that, stuck it down, and then I just drew over it again with pencil, and that gave me the outline. And then I just had to fill in the details, like where the windows were and stuff like that. And then I just stamped. This is all stamped down here. This is a Close to My Heart stamp. These are some Stampo brand alpha stamps. And then I just watercolored the whole thing. In some ways I'm really happy with it because I do feel like it's a true representation of Halifax, but on the other hand, it's so finicky. I have trouble letting go. I have trouble letting the details show up. I have to put in every single detail. So this is something I'm working on. It's a work in progress, I guess, is getting better at letting go a little bit and not being, I feel like my painting's really uptight. The next one is that unicorn frappuccino that was big for like 2 days. I went out and tried one, and when I tasted it, I was like, oh, this is a hot mess, because it was just so, I don't know, it's so over the top. But then I was like, well, it's not hot, it's cold. So I called this page Cold Mess, and I tried to get that unicorn feeling on my page. So I used this geometric, it's a Vicky Bouton stencil. I put some Heidi Swapp blue and pink metallic texture paste, and then while it was still wet, I sprinkled gold glitter on it. I stamped out my title on pattern paper. My sister has this stamp set. She got it from Simon Says Stamp with the unicorn and the rainbow. So I got her to stamp me a couple and I colored them in. And I used some of my jelly print washi tape. And I think it gave it that messy unicorn feel. I didn't like it, by the way. I didn't finish it. The next one is called Cherry Blossoms in Bloom, and my first outdoor run. I'm so excited to say I'm off the treadmill and I'm getting out in nature. and I wanted to celebrate it with some pictures, and I ran to the nearest cherry blossom tree, which is 2 kilometers away from where I live. And so here I am in front of the tree to prove I was there, and there's a couple of pictures of the tree. There's this graffiti artist in our neighborhood. I don't know who they are, but they keep writing anything is possible in French in the neighborhood. Every time I see it, I put it in my book. This is the 3rd time I found it. And then I had that Altenew stamp set I showed you in my Scrapfest haul, and I decided it was time to use it. I stamped out all these pink flowers, and then I just used gray watercolor in between the branches. That was the stamp too. So it's all stamped. That's the most complicated stamping I think I've ever done. And I think it's so beautiful. I actually use this on the Facebook group I was telling you about. I use this as our header page because I'm just so pleased with it. The next one is called Moving Day for Mom. And I was just thinking, I use my Jane Davenport stuff all the time, but I feel like I wasn't letting it look like Jane Davenport stuff, if that makes sense. So I just decided to do a color overload page here. I sketched out this house, and then I sketched off a journaling spot, and then I just watercolored the whole thing as a big mess with the Brights palette. And then I just put some stickers here. Home is where the heart is. And these butterfly rub-ons, they're 1 2 Canoe or 1 Canoe 2. I don't know. It's an Americrafts brand. I got them at Desairs. And I just stamped a little bird and I scripted my title. And I love this page. And I think this kind of summarizes my journaling style, right? My style is that I don't have a style. My style is that I jump from one style to another, just whatever is appealing to me that day. And it seems to be working. It keeps me interested. That's what this is all about, right? Is staying interested. The next one is I edited another book because I've edited one before. I wrote it in a Smashbook 2 years ago that I'd edited a book for a friend. I spent a whole afternoon reading this person's book, and I just wanted to talk about that. I covered up, just for privacy reasons, I covered up the cover of the book because I don't have the author's permission to show this on YouTube. This stack of books is paper pieced together following, I'm going to say this wrong, a tutorial by Vicky Papignano. I don't know how to say her name. She is my favorite art journaler on YouTube. If it wasn't for her, I would have never started art journaling. I'll link to her channel below. Actually, I'll link to this video so that if you want to do it, you can. But even if you touch it, it's got like texture. You can feel the backs of the books. And I just stamped titles on them, and I distress inked behind them. I think that's so cool. I actually really love this page. I think it's one of my favorite ones. I kind of like just having the one pop of color against all the black and white. But then I also like having so much color that it hurts your eyes. So, I don't know. I think I just like everything. The next ones are called Concrete Rush. My husband did an obstacle course. I'm still not tough enough to do one of these, so I just went and watched and took pictures, but maybe next year I'll be able to do it. So to do this page, it kind of came together on its own. I just took his bib, and that's the big background here, and that's where I got my title. Then I just tore up a jelly print with some chaotic colors, and I backed 3 of the photos that are kind of evenly spaced out. I put a Mambi sticker here. These stars were white. I just colored them orange and red with a marker. Put all my photos of him on the different obstacles and a picture of his team at the end. And just squeezed in a little bit of writing where I could. Easy peasy. That one came together really fast. And then these are the last 2. This one is called Home Opener. And this is about, my husband and I went to see, Toronto has a semi-professional ultimate frisbee team called the Toronto Rush. And we like to go to their games. So we went to their home opener, and it was such a cloudy day, and I love cloudy days. So I used this sheet of cloudy day paper from the same Chamel Little by Little paper pad I showed you before, and I just used my blue Econoline Prussian blue marker to draw a border around the whole page. Some pictures, one of the field, and you can see how dark it is because it was so cloudy, and a selfie of my husband and I, and just some of the Chamel Little by Little die cuts. This is a Mambi sticker up here. Wrote up my journaling, and I just highlighted a couple of the words, like the name of the team and the score, using just a magenta Ecoline marker. Since I had them out anyway, I thought it matched those clouds. Oh, I need to get through this one quickly. The last one is called Games Night Birthday Party, and in the words of my sister, I have not drawn this many people since grade school. I drew 14 people. This is my kind of penance for not taking a picture of this party. I wanted to capture this moment. We played this crazy game where everybody sits in a circle and you close your eyes and there's wolves, and when you wake up somebody was killed in the night and you have to guess who was the wolf that killed them. It was really fun, and I wanted to capture that moment. So yeah, I tried to draw people, and Yeah, I'm going to go overtime on this. Hopefully I can upload a 15-minute video. I've never tried to before. So I didn't know how to draw a person, so I dug out my Sachiko Umoto Let's Draw Illustration School, and this is a book. I got it at Chapters, and it comes with a book and a sketchbook. You can see how hard I've practiced. There's like almost nothing in this sketchbook. And it taught me how to draw people. I just like looked at the people pages and how do you make a person sit down and lay down, and that's how I did it. So I drew this and I colored it with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and then I just did a watercolor background and I did some tone on tone distress inking and some brush lettering, and that's all there was to it. So yeah, that is April in the bag, in the book. I always have trouble with these bindings, getting them closed again. So I left myself a few pages for May, and we're going to try to fit another month in here. So yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully I'll see you on Facebook. Again, the link's below, and I'll be back in a month with another update. Thanks so much for watching.